Signals are a new source of master tier guns. Right now we can get two models exclusive to this activity. DSA RPD, which is a 7.62 LMG. The main advantage over PKP is less harsh recoil, but the damage doesn't look very exciting. For me, more interesting is this new shotgun, AEK-965, which is a second gun in the game that uses 23x75 round. 480 damage per shot compared to 560 on KS-23, as both of these shotguns already got nerfed since their release. It seems that KS-23 is still considered a problem by the developers and it might get reworked in the future, but right now they don't seem to have a solution prepared. We don't know what kind of changes developers decide to go for yet, but currently KS-23 still offers insane one-tap potential. If they both get nerfed instead of getting a rework, AEK might actually become a better option thanks to a little bit higher fire rate, which is going to be very useful if both of these guns are going to two-tap our opponents. So how do we get them? From signals we can find either backpacks or bubbles. Purple, red and yellow bubbles can drop the gun blueprints. We can find them anywhere in the north, but some locations are better for farming them than others. At first purple portals couldn't drop the blueprints, but it have changed. Now they have a small drop chance, so they are not a complete waste of time anymore. We need 20 of them to craft one gun. Sadly, we can't exchange additional duplicates, we can only sell blueprints that we no longer need for 100,000 rubles. Considering how low their drop rate is, it's very stingy, they should cost way more than that. To find these bubbles we need short and long range detectors. I'm going to use Elbrus, but you can use Candle just fine, it's not a big deal. For long range detectors we have three options: SAC-1 detector, SAC-2 and Pioneer. SAC-1 is clearly the worst option, it doesn't list all of the signals. In theory you could listen to the Morse code by pressing this little button here, but it's kinda useless. SAC-2 and Pioneer are comparable, with Pioneer being slightly better, but not enough to justify swapping from SAC-2 if you happen to finish this long grind. I had Pioneer waiting in my storage for this long-awaited signal update all this time. They jumped in price, so I could make nice profit selling it. Of course that would be pretty anticlimactic, so we are going to use it. But I want to have a comparison, so first let's try SAC-1. Who knows, maybe it's usable. If this dot lights up, it means there's a signal available in our area. Battery life is pretty bad on this one, but we could easily buy more detectors. That's not the main problem. I started signal hunting before this update, so at first I ignored the purple portals because they couldn't drop the blueprints back then. And we find a red portal. Every bubble leads to a dungeon, and this time we got a guard boss fight. There are different possible dungeons inside a red bubble, and from what I heard, yellow is always the master of the zone. It's been a while, but guard is pretty easy, so I should be fine. Just shoot the glowing parts, and when it charges at you, you have to run to the side. It's easier if you are using a speed build. I thought you can jump over the laser, but I guess you can only run away from it. We got guard again. Yeah, definitely you just have to move away. This one is different, it's just murmur NPCs, so if you tackle them one by one without running into these anomalies, you should be fine. It's even easier than guard. And that's our first blueprint. Sadly it's not the shotgun, but still. Oh, we got twins this time. I wonder if the cheese strategy still works. I guess they fixed it. Damn, that was a close one. This cold debuff almost got me. What's this? Right, I guess you can still get the old blueprints. Well, that's just a little extra money. It's going very slow. I'm wasting a lot of time on finding backpack signals, so it's time to finally grab my Pioneer. First things first, how do I even use this? These bars in the top left corner show how many signals are in the detection range of our device. Every bar represents one signal, but if it shows 5, there might be even more than that. Let's try using it. When detecting signals, they will appear even before the scan is finished, and the scan itself is much faster compared to SAC1. Before picking a signal, we can investigate it. It will reveal a Morse signal. If it starts with 2 dots and a dash, it's a backpack signal. Unless you are farming trackers for Buriat, you should skip it. If you are farming in Labyrinth, you have a chance of finding Arsenal bubbles. They start with a dash and 3 dots, so if you want to visit Arsen, that's what you should be looking for. If there is another 2 dots after a break, it means we are looking at a dungeon signal. Full signal looks like this and literally means dungeon. I wish Pioneer would just straight up tell you what the signal is without these Morse codes, but for now it only wins over SAC2 with a little bit longer battery life. I barely got to check any bubbles both in the mines and Forge 11. Maybe they got nerfed. The developers sometimes don't disclose all of the changes, especially to the drop rates, so it's possible. But don't worry, I heard that Labyrinth is the best place for signal hunting, so we will give it a try. Guys, Saturn will always be a great suit. Even after all of these nerfs to RT hunting income to gamma farming, it's still good to have this suit. I managed to grab quite a lot of gifts from the ground before I even found my first red portal. This server on the other hand is a freaking war zone. I thought that gamma nerf would make it less popular. That guy was so loaded. I tried to loot him really fast and sadly took his 24 kg bag. I wish we could put the bag back on the body. I feel bad for him. Just the trash loot is worth 120k and all of these gifts are a huge money. Using the fact that we are going to find these arson bubbles anyway, we can also check the shop and try to grind some reputation by bringing him daily items. Getting a nice attachment or upgrading HK417 or other gun as a side quest to signal farming is pretty awesome. Oh, I got a second RPD blueprint. I barely made it. Thankfully we can't lose our blueprint. It got a nice little bonus for me too. Yeah, Labyrinth is definitely better for blueprint farming because I actually get a ton of signals. Half of the signals in the Labyrinth is just arson bubbles, but it's still a progress. Overall, still very grindy, not to the absurd level of session battles, but maybe eventually I will be able to get some guns to show you on this channel. If you liked this video, please consider checking the rest of my channel and subscribing. Bye.